Did Jesus use money stories to subvert common beliefs? Imagine hearing a story about a wealthy man and his servants that makes you rethink what wealth really means. Jesus often used stories involving money to challenge what people believed about riches and power. These stories were not just about money but about how we view justice, generosity, and faithfulness. For example, Jesus told the parable of the rich fool, where a man hoards his crops and plans to enjoy life forever, but God calls him a fool because his soul is required of him that night. This story questions the idea that accumulating wealth guarantees happiness or security. Instead, Jesus points us toward trusting in God and valuing spiritual riches over material possessions. Jesus also used money stories to expose social and economic unfairness. In the parable of the talents, a master gives different amounts of money to his servants. The servant who hides his money out of fear is criticized, while those who invest and multiply their resources are praised. This story hints that managing resources wisely is important, but it also questions the fairness of wealth distribution and the exploitation often linked to economic systems. Another story, The Shrewd Manager, shows a dishonest steward who uses cleverness to secure his future. Jesus does not praise dishonesty but teaches that believers should be wise in how they handle worldly wealth. The goal is to use resources to build relationships and invest in things that last forever, not just for short-term gain. Jesus also challenged societal norms through his interactions with wealthy individuals. When Zacchaeus, a tax collector, promises to give half his possessions to the poor, Jesus shows that salvation involves generosity and restitution. His act of overturning the money changers' tables in the temple was a bold statement against economic injustice and corruption in religious practices. From a biblical financial perspective, Jesus' stories show that money is a tool. It can either promote injustice or serve God's purposes. These stories encourage believers to be good stewards, generous, honest, and focused on eternal values. Jesus used money stories to question common beliefs, urging us to prioritize faithfulness, justice, and wise use of resources in line with God's plan.